John Edward Scutt was born on the 22nd of January 1889 in Bingara, New South Wales. He joined World War I in 1916 when he was 27 years and 5 months of age. He joined because he wanted to serve his country and help win the war against Germany. John Scutt was a heavy trench mortar gunner and a reinforcement for the medium trench mortar battery. He fought in the Western Front in trenches in France and Belgium. He earned 3 medals in his service. John suffered being gassed and shelled in the Western Front. In the trenches he faced heavy rain and being up to his knees in mud.
Well, Mother dear, I have been through the gas today with the gas helmet on. You would laugh if you had seen me in my gas helmet and my steel helmet on. You would not know me. We have a jolly good laugh at each other here when we get them on, as the little round steel helmets are very funny. Dear Mother, well, we are having a great deal of wet weather here. Just now, and the mud is awful. I don't like the thought of having another winter here anyway. But I'm afraid the war won't be over before the winter. Dear Mother, well, I started to write this on the 3rd, and today is the 5th, and it is still raining. We are up over our knees at times in mud. You ought to see me at times when we come out of the trenches. Well, you would have to laugh. Well, Dad and Mum, up until yesterday I have been on the guns in the artillery, and I have had a fairly miserable time of it too, up to my knees in mud. However, we came back to the wagon lines last night and slept in an old barn, and my word, it was like a palace after what we had had up at the guns.
On the 10th of April in 1918, John was taken prisoner while he was fighting in Bizet, Belgium. On this day, he was reported missing. A month later, on the 10th of July, John was reported as a prisoner of war in Germany. John was taken to a prison camp in Dobritz, Germany. This prison camp was nicknamed Hungry Hill because the prisoner soldiers lost lots of weight from the food deprivation. They could write letters to home, but the Germans censored the outgoing and ingoing mail. After the war, John lived in London for a few months. When he came home to Australia, he worked in Sydney for a while. His mother then won a block of land near the Snowy Mountains, and John moved there and built a house. He grazed sheep there and also became a sheep grazer in other nearby places. He then met his wife Madge in Sydney, and they married in 1933. They moved to a sheep farm near Dubbo and had a child named Joan. John died on the 3rd of March in 1937 when he was 48. His exposure to chemical and artillery warfare in World War I and losing weight from food deprivation in the prison camp led to his health failing until his death from coronary heart disease.
Obituary of John Edward Scutt. The late Mr. Scutt, who had followed grazing pursuits in the Narrabri, Monaro and Barabra districts, was a respected and most popular citizen, straightforward and highly esteemed throughout these districts. He was a returned soldier who had served some time in the Great War and was taken prisoner in Germany, where he remained until the signing of the armistice. He had endured the hardships of war, being gassed. Being so well known, the funeral was largely attended at the Church of England and cemetery. The late Mr. Scutt was of a happy disposition.